Hello and welcome to Down the Vent. My name's Joe, and today we're taking a look at Dinosaur Island from Pandasaurus Games. Let's check it out. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at how to play Dinosaur Island. I will start by saying that there is a lot going on in this game, so I won't be able to cover everything. I'm just going to try and give a general overview of how a turn would go. So, you start off by setting up the game. So, to set up the game, you first shuffle all the dinosaur tiles, and there are 3 different kinds, so make sure you separate them before you shuffle them. There are herbivores, small carnivores, and large carnivores. So you'll separate each of those into their 3 kinds, shuffle them, and then place them on the board, and then flip one up in each spot here. That sets up the Phase 1 portion. Phase 2, you will find the Dino Research 2 tiles and place them here. You'll find the DNA Refinement 2 tiles and place them there. Then you will shuffle all the Under Construction tiles and all the Attraction tiles and the Specialist cards. Then you will go ahead and reveal 4 of each, and they line up with these areas right here. These ones stay in whatever order they're revealed in. The attraction tiles will actually be reordered, so the cheapest is at the top and the most expensive is at the bottom. So we have 7, 9, 11, 11. And then the specialists just come out in whatever order they come out in. You'll set money off to the side of the board, and then you move to the player's board setup here. So in the player's board setup, you have 6 black cubes for each player. They'll go ahead and put them in their DNA limits to start the game with. For basic DNA, that's 4. For advanced DNA, that's 2. You'll then take 6 cubes of your color, and you'll put them in the 1 spots. And then you'll also put them on the 1 spots on your threat level and security level. You'll take 4 workers and 3 scientists. And these, again, this is the deluxe edition, so you might just have cardboard cutouts for the scientists. And then you'll place those on your board like so. You'll then take a worker and actually place it over here on the turn order track as well, in whatever order it kind of decided by the beginning of the game. So, first player, and then you'll just go around clockwise for the first round. The first player will get 15 Dino Bucks, second player 16, third player 17, etc. You'll then take one of your cubes and put it on the 1 on the excitement level, and on the 10 in the victory point level, because you can lose victory points on your first turn if your dinosaurs get loose and eat people. The last thing you need to do is pick your favorite dinosaur meeple if you have the deluxe edition, and place it in your first paddock there, and then make sure that your threat level is at 1, because with 1 herbivore, they cause 1 threat level. Then you need to set up the plot twist cards and the objectives. So you'll just shuffle the plot twist cards and choose 2. These will be in effect the rest of the game. So, for example, this one says, at the end of each round, that's after all 5 phases are complete, each player chooses one of the following bonuses at no cost. Increase their security level by 1, which would be right here. Upgrade paddock capacity by 1, which would be taking this and turning it into a 2 or a 3 for later on. You'll gain 2 of any basic DNA. So that's a pretty awesome card. The other one we have here is once per round, each player may increase their excitement level by 1 if they assign the scientist to increase cold storage limits. And we'll get to that here in a second. Then, before you pick the objective cards, you will want to go ahead and look through them, and there are actually 3 different kinds of objectives cards as well. There's short game, medium game, and long game. So for this example, I just grabbed 3 short game objectives, and we'll just go through those real quick. So these are the bonus points they're worth at the end of the round if you've completed, or at the end of the game if you've completed them. So this one's 6. They're actually all 6. So this one says build 4 attractions in your park. This one's to have 6 dinosaurs in your park, and this is reach a security level of 7. Whenever you complete an objective, you'll take one of your colored little pieces here, and you'll actually put it on that objective. Other players will have to the end of that round to complete that objective. If they do not, then the objective is no longer available for anyone else besides yourself. Very important that you try to keep up with people in this game. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and move on to phase 1 of the game. The first player will take the dice and give them a good roll, and then place them out here, one in each little spot. They all have their separate areas. Then you will take your 3 scientists, and you'll actually take turns placing one at a time. And you'll notice that the scientists are actually numbered 1, 2, and 3. That is important. The level 1 scientist can only get herbivores. The level 2 scientist can get small carnivores or herbivores. The level 3 scientist can get large, small, and then herbivores as well. There's also something else important to remember by them. Whenever you place a scientist, you'll actually get to do that action 3 times besides taking dinosaurs. So this is increasing your cold storage limit. So if I put a 3 here, I would actually get to either increase 1 3, or I can increase 3 of them 1, or 1 twice and 1 once. But so we'll just give an example of that. I want to increase all my basic DNA by 1 because I placed my level 3 scientist there. That's it for my turn. Now it goes to the next player. So they're going to choose a scientist, and we'll say they really need some DNA because they want to make some dinosaurs this turn, hopefully. They're going to choose their 3, and they'll put it here. So you'll notice this die has 2 blue on it. They get to take the die. We'll take it off the board. It's no longer available. And they actually multiply the DNA on it by the number on their scientists. So because they did a 3 scientists on this area, they would get 6 blue DNA, the basic DNA. The problem is that their maximum limit right now is only 4, so they kind of wasted a couple there. But hey, we're just doing it for examples. And that's it for their turn. Now I'll come back to my turn. I'll go ahead and say, I really want some blue DNA as well, so I'll put my 2 there. I'll take that off, and I'll raise my blue DNA by 2, because it's 2 times the 1. They'll go ahead and say, well, I'm going to increase my cold storage. This person's not playing very well. They should have done that first. They'll raise their blue up 1 and their pink up 1. And then it's back to me. So I have the option of either getting a dinosaur, getting another die, or increasing cold storage by 1, which isn't great. Or you can always pass. And when you pass, you place your scientist here, and you just pull it off, and it actually becomes a worker to be used in phase 3 of the game. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then blue is feeling great. They want to go ahead and get a dinosaur. So they'll take this piece, and they actually get to place it on their park. Anywhere on their park board. It is important that you do place it somewhere good because you cannot move the tiles around later in the game. You can't uproot dinosaurs once they've been placed. The other thing to note is that if you ever learn how to make a dinosaur, but then the paddocks are empty at the end of the game, you've never actually created one, then you'll lose the victory points there, so you don't want to do that. Okay, so once all players have finished taking all their scientist actions, there's one more step to this phase. You'll go ahead and you'll take the dice that are remaining on the board, and you'll look at them. The one that has the most pips, these little reddish-brown circles, burgundy maybe, and you'll place it in this threat level holding spot right there. Then you can just move the other dice off the board so you remember that they're not in play anymore. What this is going to do is actually increase the threat level for everyone's parks by 2 for this round only. So as you can see, we started with 1 threat level and 1 security level. We're going to need to make sure we increase our security level to match what our park's threat level is, which is how many dinosaurs we have times how threatening they are, plus the overall threat level in general. So maybe there's a storm rolling in and the dinosaurs are getting restless, something like that. We'll get to that later though. Now we're going to move on to phase 2. Okay, so now we'll move on to phase 2 of the game. In phase 2, it's simply the market phase. You'll go ahead and go around in player order still, purchasing items from the market area. So here you can see $2. So anything in this row costs $2, except the attractions. It's 2 plus the bottom cost there. So D-N-A-Chos, or Dinachos, would be 9. But this chef would only be 2, and the groundkeeper shack would be 2 as well. You can also pay 2 and take any 2 basic DNA of your choice. So you just randomly take one. And then you would actually get to choose to discard one of these from the row as well. So the other option you have during this phase is to pass and then take 2 money when you pass. Or to buy one of these tiles over here. They are 3 and 5. And then there's also these options as well if you never want to buy one of these. So for 3 you can get 3 basic DNA. For $4, you can get 1 advanced. For $5, you can get 2 advanced. And then you would discard 1 from the rows as well when you did those actions. So go ahead and decide here what I want. So I want to go ahead and spend $2 and get the Groundskeeper Shack. So I'll take some money. And this is, again, the deluxe with these metal giant coins are awesome. I will place that actually in my area here. And it says increase your security level by 1 at no cost. So it was in green, which means I get to take it as a free action when I purchase the tile. Nothing will move over here to the end of the round, so that stays like that. So let's see, the other player saw that security levels need to go up as well, and they're going to pay 3 to get this tile. So they'll get 2 back. And this one says, Dino Security, increase your security level by 1 at no cost. Because normally you have to pay to increase your security level throughout the entire game, and it gets very expensive later on, so... go ahead back to me, because each player gets to buy twice, or pass twice. And let me see here. You know what? For the sake of learning the game, I want to actually buy DNA nachos for 9 money, and I'll have to place that in my park. So I'm going to put it right next to my hat store right there, because everyone starts with hats. And the last player will buy a chef here. So this chef actually allows you to get another worker in your park. So you'll take one of your meeples and put it in the area there. And it says you may place 1 patron at a food attraction even if it's full each round to score 1 victory point. While they don't have any food attractions yet, they will have a chance to maybe buy like Clever Grill next turn or something like that, and allow them to put an extra person there even if it's full already. So that's pretty good because eventually you'll have more excitement than you will have spots to put people, and we'll get to that later as well. Alright, so now you move into Phase 3. This is where everyone kind of works on their own and can do whatever they want using their workers. So I have 4 workers and a scientist, so I actually have 5 workers this round. Blue has 5 workers because they gained 1 with their chef. And you'll just take turns placing workers here. So if I place a worker here, it says I actually get to treat my security level as +1 for the round. So I'll put them there for my first action here. And that means I have a security level of 3. That helps me take care of the DNA, or the threat level increase from that DNA dice, and my 1 dinosaur. So I should be good there. The other things you can do are create dinosaurs, which you'll have to use 2 of any basic DNA to do, because that's what everyone's beginning dinosaurs are, just 2 of any basic DNA. It doesn't have to be the same or anything like that. You can refine DNA, which is like trading in some basics to make the advanced. There's Tool Bench, where you can upgrade your paddock capacity or increase security level by 1. And then there's Collect Money from the Bank if you just don't have anything else to do. There are a few important things to note here on these actions. The ones with 1 little guy on them means that 1 person may go there, and that is it. You're done with that action for the rest of the round. There's this one here where you can place here first to create a dinosaur. If you want to create a second dinosaur, you'd actually have to take 2 workers and put them there. But then you're done. You cannot put any more. Then there's something like the Tool Bench, which actually says unlimited, so you can keep placing workers there as much as you want to upgrade your paddocks. And then there's Venture Capital, where you get 3 money for the first spot, then 2, then 1. So I want to go ahead and upgrade my Tool Bench or upgrade my paddock because, I mean, I can't make any dinosaurs because I don't have any space. When you increase the paddock capacity, you only can increase it 1 at a time. Now, I could go all the way to 4, but I'd have to spend 3 workers to do it. Once to get to the 2, once to get to the 3, and then another to get to the 4. And you'd have to pay the cost each time as well, so it gets very pricey. So, I'm just going to start off by increasing it to a 2-size paddock. That cost me 2 money. I put that back. And then that actually goes right here, and my dinosaur moves into that spot. And now I have the capacity to build another dinosaur. So I want to go ahead and do that. Create 1 dinosaur. Again, like I said, it takes 2 random DNA of basics. So I'll go ahead and just use these 2 here. And I'll get another dinosaur meeple. You can make them the same, or you can get, a different one if you're feeling crazy. After you create a dinosaur, you'll go ahead and want to increase your excitement level by the amount noted on the dinosaur. So it's this little green triangle here with the number in it. So I'll increase it by 1. So I'm at 2 excitement now. and I'll increase my security level, my threat level, sorry, not my security level, by 1 as well, because there's one little dot here. If the blue player built an Ankylosaurus here, they'd actually increase their security level by 2, or their excitement level by 2, but their threat level only goes up by 1 still, so that's good to know. And that's the end of that action, so I'm going to go ahead and actually collect some money from the bank, because I'm getting pretty low on funds here. I only had 2 money left. And let me see, what else should I do? So for my last action here, I'm going to go ahead and actually, luckily, save the scientist, so I get 1 more here. I want to place it to increase my security level by 1. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and move this down, and then you have to pay the price that's next to that area. So that costs 2 money to increase my security level 1 more time. And then the other player will be taking their actions at the same time, and we'll go ahead and move on to Phase 4. Alright, so Phase 4 of the game is pretty simple. You are going to look at your current excitement level, which I have a 2, and the blue player has a 1, and you'll draw meeples from the bag up to that level. So I would get to draw 2. I got a yellow guy and a yellow guy. That's good. There are also, let's see here, purple guys in the bag, and purple's bad because those are hoodlums. Hoodlums don't give you victory points. They don't pay to get in your park. They're just trouble. You don't want them in your park. So we'll go ahead and draw 1 here for the other player and put them there. So whenever you get people, they'll line up here on the side of the board, and then after everyone's drawn their meeples, you get to place them in the park. So each dinosaur exhibit actually has spots for people equal to the amount of your paddock level. So I can have 2 people go to this area here, and that would score me 1 victory point per person in the area. Or I can go to DNA Nachos, or D-Nachos, or I can go to Hats. D-Nachos, you'll notice, actually has, it's kind of hard to see because it's behind the faded person, a 2 coin / 1 victory point. So if I needed money, I could actually send both people here, and instead of getting victory points, I could choose to take 2 coins per person at that area to kind of help replenish my money because, you know, I spent a lot that round buying it. I might actually do that because money is pretty important in the game, and then this player will just go ahead and put them in there. Okay, so once you have all your visitors placed in your park, you're going to go ahead and check your security level. So my threat level is a 2 plus 2 from this die. I have a security level of 3 plus 1 for this special action I have here, so it's 4 and 4. I'm equal, we're good there. My dinosaurs don't get out. But say my security level was only up there, 1 dinosaur would actually escape and kill one of my people this round. When one of your people die, you remove them from the board, and you lose a victory point, and they go back in the bag. That means you also don't get to score the victory point that they would have gave you or get the money either. Luckily that didn't happen this round, we're all safe. The other part to note is that you have so many dinosaurs escaping that all your people that are in your park get eaten. If there's still a line of people that couldn't get in because it was too full, your dinosaurs will go out there and eat them as well, making you lose even more victory points. So be careful with attracting too many people to your park if your security is not on par as well. So now that we're done with that phase, or done with that part of Phase 4, we'll go ahead and get our victory points or money. So the blue player gets 1 victory point, so we'll move them up here to 11, and then I want to take 4 money because I am poor and I need more money. That's it for Phase 4. Now we will move on to Phase 5. Phase 5 is simply cleanup. We're going to reset the turn order, refresh the market, reveal new dinosaur recipes over here, so only 1 person can get 1 of these dinosaurs per turn. We're going to take all of our workers and scientists back. We're going to put all the visitors back in the bag, and then do any of these plot twist cards here that are available. So, at the end of each round, let's start with these plot twist cards here just because I'm feeling crazy. Each player choose one of the following bonuses at no cost. Increase security level by 1, or upgrade paddock capacity by 1, or gain any 2 basic DNA. Well, security is being a big issue so far, so I'm going to go ahead and increase that by another 1. And this one says, once per round, each player may increase their excitement level by 1 if they assign a scientist to the cold storage limits. I forgot to do that at the beginning of the phase. I would have had 1 more person in my park, which would have given me 2 more money. See, there's a lot going on in this game. You have to pay attention to everything. You can check the objectives as well. None of us are really close to that because you need a security level of 7, which this plot twist card is going to help us get there. Have 6 dinosaurs in your park. I only have 2. Or build 4 attractions in your park. I've only built 1. So that's pretty much how the game is played. There's a lot of little rules and different specialists that can come out that do different things and different upgrade tiles. You will note that you only have so much space for upgrade tiles in your park, in your research area. So you can cover those up through the game if you want, but you can never have more than the 6 unless you get like a specialist that says so. So that's basically how to play the game. Let's go ahead and head up and see what I think about Dinosaur Island. Okay, so what do I think of Dinosaur Island? Well, I will preface my review here by saying that normally I'm not a big fan of Euro games, like the heavier Euro games at all. This one's got an amazing theme wrapped around it. Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies, and since you're pretty much building Jurassic Park in this game, if we're going to be honest here, that really helps it just call to me. Now, saying all that, the other thing I really love about this game, because it really helped, I think, speed it along, is that they split the game into 5 different phases, because then you're not waiting for everyone to finish one thing to go on to the next phase. It's always like one player does something, next player, next player, next player, and it's always like something small. Like in the first phase, you have the research, right? So like you're either drafting the dice to get DNA, or sending a scientist out to improve your cold storage, or to learn a new to take a new dinosaur recipe into your area. So it's quick, and like you just keep going around until everyone's done. It's nothing too crazy. And then you move on to the market phase, where you just are buying the stuff. I mean, it's fast, and then that takes you into the worker phase, where you're actually just placing workers on your own board, and the rulebook even says that everyone can do that at the same time. Usually when we do it, like 2 people on each side of the table kind of work together to make sure, you don't miss something, or you don't misread a tile that you're placing out, or forget something, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the game. And then you go into the park phase. It's where you go around and you actually are drawing out all the the visitors out of the bag and seeing, are you going to get hoodlums, or are you actually going to get good visitors? And then you see if the dinosaurs get loose and eat them and make you lose some reputation. And then the last phase is just cleanup, where you're like putting new tiles out, putting new cards out, putting your workers away, stuff like that. Like, the game is smooth. They did a great job, like, making sure it flows and you're not sitting there waiting. Could you imagine if you had to wait for one person to do all 5 phases? Oh my god. Miserable. But the way they did it, where everyone's doing a lot during each phase and you're not like sitting around waiting. I also really like the part where that you can, instead of using your scientists, you can bank them as workers and then use them during your worker phase. Like, doesn't seem, I mean, thematically, if I was a scientist, right, I'm like, well, I can do this research and discover new dinosaur DNA, and I'm like, no. You're going and building paddocks today, right? Like, we don't have time for you to research new dinosaurs. We need you to get out there and build a fence around this dinosaur, because he keeps escaping. It sounds a little absurd, but whatever, it works. It's a cool little added feature. Like, if you run out of things to do with your scientists, or you just feel like you really need more workers that turn, bank your scientists then, right? That's awesome. Yeah, so overall, this game is probably one of my favorite Euro games I've ever played. The theme's amazing. I have the deluxe edition, so the pieces are just phenomenal. I'm super excited for the expansion that's coming out soon here too. I highly recommend that you check out Dinosaur Island. The regular edition is just as cool. I mean, it doesn't have like the metal coins and all the little wooden bits that this one does, but the gameplay is going to be the same still, right? That doesn't change the gameplay. So, Dinosaur Island, 2 thumbs way up for me. Highly recommend that you check it out. And that's all I got to say about it. So until next time, my name's Joe, and you've been watching Down the Vent.